Welcome to the AFoOL podcast. This is episode 30, and there's just two of us this time. So, since Earl's not here, I did it wrong. Where am I? There I am. Yeah, that's Jabo, BrickTsar, and I'm Joey. So, Earl, well, let me kill my phone real quick before we get interrupted by that again. Earl is still suffering with Ida. I think he just, as of the recording of this, just got power back to his house.
Oh, wow.
And it's been, several?
It's been a couple weeks.
Yeah, we might be working on 3 weeks now.
3 weeks, wow.
I think. I'd have to, and then who knows, when we recorded this, by the time you guys are seeing this,
yeah,
it will really be out there. So he was, nobody in his family was hurt. He was fine. The house was fine. They have a couple big trees down in their backyard, and I think there was some on their neighbor's house. No flooding damage that I remember him saying, but they've been without power and no internet. So, and
it's like the dark ages. Not having internet, forget the power.
Yeah, I could make a fire.
Yeah,
I probably don't want a fire down there. It's probably pretty warm anyway. So,
no, you really appreciate those conveniences of having electricity when you go that long.
Yeah, I think he ended up staying at his daughter's. I guess they live inland a little further than they do. But they were without power for a while too. So I think they got it quicker than he did. And then, of course, he said it before, he works at a grocery store. I guess he's the manager, and I think he's been there for quite a while. He said the other day it was his first. Well, and about almost a week ago when I talked to him, it had been his first day off in 2 weeks.
Oh, wow.
So
I wonder, like with the grocery store, if they didn't have power, did they use generators, or did they just have to throw? I guess they'll have to throw a lot of stuff out.
I can only hope that they prepare for these things, or at least are prepared somewhat for the. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I would trust Earl's management. It's like I don't trust my Dollar General. I think they went without power in the freezer, and they just sold the stuff anyway.
Oh,
they got shut down. My Dollar General a few months ago, they got shut down for a little while. I imagine they had some health code violations.
Obviously something. Yeah, I guess I haven't been into Dollar General. Well, they built a new Dollar General in our neighborhood, and I've only been in it once or twice. I've never paid attention that they had groceries in there as far as freezer items. But
so it's a matter of convenience. Like, I'd rather go to a grocery store like an Ingles or a Walmart or a Publix, but a Dollar General is so close.
Right.
It's like it's late at night or it's a weekend. It's just Jacob and I. It's like, you want to go get a pizza? We just go get a pizza.
Yeah.
At Dollar General, frozen pizza.
Well, there's nothing wrong with it. I just know the one that we have in town is always disorganized. It just seems.
I think, some are very disorganized, and ours is. I've been in a lot of different Dollar General. Ours is the worst that I've ever seen, and I've been in some bad ones.
And
like everybody says, I've seen a few people talk about the Lego selection. It's like it hasn't changed in like 4 years.
No, when that happened, when they started having that was not too long after Toys R Us.
Yes, yes, it was, yes.
So I wonder if that's not just all Toys R Us stuff.
Yeah, that's why Kohl's is more into it, and even Kohl's has pitiful selection.
Well, they still got Lego Movie stuff. The only place you can buy Lego Movie.
Yeah.
Not even Lego Movie 2.
Lego Movie. Yeah.
Oh man. So did you see what was it? The new 2021 Lego Ideas sets.
Like the ones that are up for.
Up for, yeah. I guess. Oh, my link ain't gonna
I
work.
stopped looking a couple of years ago.
Did you? Well, there was a couple.
I believe it when I see them. Because if there's like 34 of them, there'll be one that gets selected.
I know. Yeah.
Did you see that? I didn't even. They had this Fender Stratocaster guitar. I don't even remember it making it.
Yeah, I don't remember when that happened. Yeah.
I remember like the Home Alone and Seinfeld. Before we got Seinfeld, and
right.
There's some others coming.
Well, they had. I'm trying to find it. The A-Team van, and I thought just for.
I didn't even vote for it, and it made it.
Yeah, it's one of the 30. It's one of them. One of the 36 or whatever. That's for this next selection group. So it's minifig scale. So if nothing else, they won't get that because of the licensing. But
it would be nice. 18 briefly with the Dimensions. They had an 18 van.
Oh, that's right. It did, didn't it? The little micro one. The Dimensions, that seemed to get a lot of licenses that they just.
A lot of licenses we wouldn't have got otherwise.
I wonder if that was because of the game.
Probably.
Something.
Yeah. And that's the only thing we got. Those certain licenses were only in the game, like the game sets. And it didn't last.
Yeah, I wonder. I can't remember who did the game, but I wonder if the game maker themselves had already had some of that pre-licensed, and Lego was able to kind of tag onto it or something. Maybe. I mean, they obviously made physical toys, so.
Yes, it's another case of Lego jumping on the bandwagon when the wagon train is almost done.
Yeah.
They were trying to copy with that Disney.
Disney had it, yeah.
That type of game, and it's like it's like they're going to come out with an Among Us game or a Fall Guys game after it's all something similar, like after it's not popular anymore.
Right. Yeah. Well, that's the way they do.
I heard now this is who was I watching? Was it Just Too Good or somebody talking about how Lego had a chance to buy Minecraft and they didn't, and Microsoft bought them instead.
Well,
where did I hear that?
If they did, then it's probably a good thing for most of the Minecraft fans.
You're thinking just like I am. Why is that? Why is it a good thing that Lego didn't buy this video game?
Because they would have ruined it.
That's right.
It would have been no more.
No good video game idea doesn't get destroyed.
Yeah,
Lego.
Well, even their games, the regular game, the Star Wars games, the Indiana Jones games, some of those in the earlier versions, I thought were better. I don't like. They went to like a split screen, so if two of you were playing, then the screen started. I didn't like that as much as
being in the same screen together.
Yeah, just being in the same screen. Yeah. I mean, I know they were trying to improve it, and that's not Lego, but it was just
no. And I think sometimes we got to think about that. It's like video games and bricks. That's two different mindsets, two different types of creators usually.
Yeah.
Same thing with these board. Even though these board games they made were like made out of bricks, it's like it's different people thinking of that.
Yeah. I mean, to think up just even a simple board game. I mean, there's got to be quite a bit of thought process to that, and that's not what Lego does.
I think the only thing that'll work is just keep making different chess sets. Those are the only games that seem to they bring them back and people will still buy them.
Yeah, they didn't even do good with the checkers
No, checkers.
They even had a little
tic-tac-toe. Yeah, I had the tic-tac-toe. I mean, they forgot that tic-tac-toe's a bad game.
Right. Yeah. Well,
it's for like first graders.
Right. There should never be a winner.
Yeah. Didn't they see War Games?
Right. Yes, exactly. Yeah. That is one of my favorite movies. Oh my gosh. A movie reference I actually got.
Yeah.
That was a great movie. The Whopper.
I got a tetanus shot after seeing War Games.
You got a tetanus? Why?
So I went to my friend's house who had a Saint Bernard named Barry, who they normally kept in a cage, like in his own pen, because for whatever reason, this Saint Bernard was mean. Usually Saint Bernards aren't mean. And they had another one, a female one, that wasn't mean. But so I pull up, their house. You got to open the gate. It's like, this is 1984, right? So yeah, I pull up, open the gate, close the gate. Or was it 1986? What year did War Games come out? 80. Anyway,
I was in high school, so before 87.
So I'm walking from my car to their house, and here comes Barry. And I'm like, oh, no, he's not in his pen. So I start running, and they got a stairway that goes up like to a deck, and it's got a gate. I should have jumped the gate because the dog wouldn't have jumped the gate. And instead I went to their door, and their door was locked, and he chomped down on me on my rear end. It was, yeah.
Well, at least
but I still wanted to see the movie, so, but I had to get a tetanus shot because of it.
Well, at least it's better than a rabies shot.
Yeah,
Assuming he had his rabies tags and stuff. So, do you?
Go ahead.
I don't know. Did you? What are you doing here with this great big giant Lego headlight brick? Are you gonna? Yeah, there you go. Will that actually fit to another one?
So it's scale. It's
right.
1x4. It's six scale. So it means like a brick is 1 brick high. So this one's 6 bricks high. It's 1 brick wide. So it's 6 studs wide, and it's 4. So it's 4 times 6. It's 24.
Okay.
So that's the times 6 scale. And so the top of this to the bottom, that's 6. And then you can either use round 2x2 with macaronis around it, or these 4x4s for the studs. Some people, when they do it, they make them, they get the round plate and the corner round plates and make it smooth on top. But I might need that clutch power because you put these little, these pieces here act as where these pieces,
tubes.
Yeah,
right.
They're the tubes that will kind of hold it into place. But I want to make the tipper truck out of this type of build. So I had gotten all the chrome, or this is metallic silver. I did a video on this, but it's not, when y'all watch it, it would already have posted. But when Joey's talking,
I haven't seen it.
I hadn't seen it yet. So the metallic silver is in the supercar, turbo car, the Agent's turbo car, and all of these were in that set. And
all of those were in. Okay.
Yeah, and so I wanted to get this. I said, if I can get this, I can do all the bricks, and then so most of the plates and the bricks, that's pretty simple to make them. You just need a ton of parts. You don't think it's a lot of parts until you start go looking for them. So I got one. I got one part down, 16 more to go, and the worst is going to be the. I don't even know how much it's going to weigh, the tipper, because it's going to be a lot of bricks to make the tipper.
I could see that being a problem, self-supporting itself, holding itself up.
Yeah. So, and this is all up here, and I'm not a builder, so this was like trial and error. I would try different things, and then I didn't want this to be thick, so I had to come up with a way to make it. And then, so everything, I don't know if you can tell.
Yeah.
It's all a half a stud off from this row with the silver up to this row. It's a half a stud off.
Okay.
And so I had to use jumpers to do that.
Right.
Or otherwise I'd have a huge gap.
Right.
Here.
No, I think it looks great.
Thank you.
It looks great.
And it's not the correct proportions, but I was just so proud that it turned out, and it will work. It's a 1x4 brick. So I got to make 2 more. Wait, 2 1x4 red bricks, 4 1x2 yellow bricks, a 4x10 plate, 3 2x4 plates, 1 2x2 plate. Then the wheels. So talking about support, so it's going to be heavy. And my plan, first of all, with the wheels, there is, I don't know if it's going to work because I haven't got the wheels yet, but there's a wheel that's almost exactly 6 times the size of the old 1970s wheels.
Oh,
So
is it that motorcycle wheel, the big one?
No, it's kind of the size, the Land Rover set that's kind of that size.
Okay.
Yeah.
Huh. Well, that'll work out pretty good then if it's.
Yeah. Then I use the axles going through. Right. So I'm going to make a black 2x2 brick and have axle holes in it to go to the wheel. So that, I think that part will be simple. I won't have metal axles like the original set, but who's going to care?
Well, ain't nobody going to pick it up and turn it over.
Yeah. And so then my plan, and I don't know the logistics of it, I'm going to use hinges on the blue tipper.
Okay.
To get the angles, and then the little knobs that hold it, and the ends, I'm going to use 2x2 round bricks and run an axle through it. I just don't know, because because it's going to be so heavy and all the weight's going to be up there on those top pieces.
Right.
It would be easy for the bottom to separate unless you got some kind of system going through it to hold it. So I don't know all that right now.
Well, I would suggest just the smallest amounts of Elmer's white glue.
No. I mean, I know what you mean.
It doesn't ruin it.
I may think that, like, I may go to put this piece on because it hangs down. It might just fall off.
Well, since you left the studs, though,
that's why I left the studs because those will connect.
Well, if nothing else, you could always put a couple clear trans pieces underneath the tipper to kind of support it up off the base.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
I mean, they're there, but they're essentially hidden. How many superheroes have you seen in a mock that's held up by 1x1 stack of plates?
As long as it's genuine Lego, then I think it'll work.
Yeah,
that's a good idea, and it'd be like a brick.
I think it's gonna be great.
I just hope I hope it worst case scenario it's going to be a truck with no tipper, which will still look pretty cool.
Yeah, I honestly I think the tipper will be easier than the windshield.
Okay, so the windshield I can do it. It's just going to look ugly. I think I would rather do it like if I could get panels at the angles, but I don't know how to do the angles using only clear elements. I would have to use like light bluish gray or something for hinges to get the angle.
Yeah.
But this is how it's going to be. I'm going to use the actual windshield pieces, 6 across. No, wait. It's 4. Yeah, 6 across, 4 high, something like that. And then I'm going to have another slope of the 2x4 45-degree slope at the top. I tested it out to make sure that it would line up and be the 1 2/3 bricks high equivalent.
Right.
I did the math, like how many plates is that, or I did the math, and then I did just one side of it. The only thing, it's not going to be nice and clear. It's going to be all clear bricks, but because those pieces have no clutch power on the underneath side, you got to support all of them.
Right.
So I'm going to have all these pieces on the inside holding it up.
I think it'll still look okay. Yeah. You're right. I mean, clear panels will be cool, but that would be so hard to get the angle right.
So I got the orders in. Oh, you know what the expensive part for the windshield is? There's no clear 4x4, like 4x4 round brick.
Oh,
so I have to use macaronis.
Oh no! Yeah, those are pain to
I
get.
need 16 clear macaronis. Which in the process, I discovered the half macaroni. Have you ever seen that?
No, half macaroni.
Yeah, it's two. It's like two. Actually, it's a double macaroni. It's a half of a. It's
Oh
half
yeah,
of a
okay, yeah,
circle.
yeah. I didn't know
That's
they
what I
made
mean.
that in clear though.
Yeah,
Okay, that's okay. Yeah,
yeah. I almost bought one. I haven't. There's only a few people that have them for sale.
that would help. Okay, so that would you need eight. You would still need you would need 8 of those,
Yeah, I
right?
need
That's
8 of
half.
those, and they're more expensive, and some of them are cellulose acetate.
Yikes! Yeah, that ain't gonna work.
But I found a seller that had like 40 of them for less than $1 a piece, so I just bought all of his.
All of them, yeah. I don't
So
blame
I
you.
was like, I'll use 16 of them, and I'll keep the rest for any other vintage stuff we build. So,
Well, you need.
I'm hoping I can get this before Brick Fair.
Oh, yeah. Time crunch now, huh?
Mm-hmm. So the orders are in. I think I got enough orders to get the majority of the building going. So,
yeah, I've kind of tried to. I don't know. I keep following. I'm trying to do a bus station that was here in town, or well, in Evansville, the big city I live close to, and it's an Art Deco type building, and I want to take it for Brick Fair. And I've already made a couple. I designed it first in like L-Draw, so in like Studio, and I made a couple mistakes there. So now that as I'm actually building it in real, in IRL, I'm first off, gravity is another one of those things. It's a pain. And even just, I have stuff supported on the ground, so there's no gaps where things are just hanging in midair. But when you get to the height and you don't have walls interconnected or whatever, it starts turning flimsy, and it's kind of a tall building, and it's an older building, so it's got really high cathedral ceilings in it. So in fact, it's 2 stories and the ceiling goes all the way up. So I have a few things I got to and then when I run into a problem like that, I get frustrated and I don't want to mess with it anymore. So I put it to the side and I go do something else. And
I know it's probably too complicated, but wouldn't it be interesting if somebody could realistically simulate clutch power and gravity with L-Draw or something, a program like that?
Studio, yeah, that would be pretty cool. Yeah. I think I don't know if it's Studio or not. I know it's not L-Draw, but if you had like a part that was just completely disconnected, it would give you like a red X or something on it,
Oh, okay.
Or warning. I think it's Studio. I've been trying to go to Studio because L-Draw is getting. I actually thought I was almost done with. Well, L-Draw is several different programs. I use MLCAD and then L-Draw View, but the View program, which is the one that does the 3D, so you can look at it from all angles. It did not like the latest upgrade to my video card. And,
you can't, or your video card didn't like it?
Well, the L-Draw just would quit running, or L-View. It would just quit. It won't even launch. So I got on the forums and was looking at it, and it's like one guy's left messing with it or something.
Oh.
And he said, "Yep, these video cards, I don't know what they did, but it won't work. But I needed the upgrade because Adobe Premiere said my video card's too old if I don't upgrade to the newest version." So,
oh wow,
I've got a workaround for now, but then I started messing with Studio. So it's like, okay, I'm gonna go and do Studio, Bricklink Studio, Stud.io, however you pronounce it.
It's got to be Studio. I know people call it Stud.io, but
right,
yeah, they did that on purpose.
Yes, yeah. It's just Stud.io is too hard to say. Even Studio is just easier.
And I'll probably never learn how to use it.
I don't. There's one of those deals that it's a learning curve. I look at it from like L-Draw to Studio. It's kind of like going from an Android phone to an Apple phone, or vice versa. They basically do the same thing. You just got to figure out which button to makes it do that same thing.
It's like on my computer, I have iMovie, which is for dummies, and I got what's the other expensive one? I don't use it so much. I already forgot what it's called on the Mac.
You said it before. I've heard you say it.
I haven't. That tells you how long it's been since I used it.
Oh crap! Oh well.
Yeah,
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, I can never remember how to cut, like to clip a video. Like if I got parts of it I want to cut out, I'm like, how do I do this again? I can't remember how to do it, and yeah, so I end up using the bare bones stuff.
Well, I used I don't know. It was one of the early versions of the well, Windows had a movie maker for a while, and then I went to the free version of Adobe's software, which was pretty basic and stuff. But anytime you wanted to do a cut like that, like separate it into two pieces, it was Control C. Well, Adobe Premiere was Control K. For whatever reason, and Control C doesn't copy. In any rate, that sent me into about a week's worth of I paid for this, I will learn how to do this, and then it's like once I now I know, it's like but there's
it's Final Cut.
Final Cut. There you go. Yeah. So, do you like Final Cut?
It's like when I know how to use it, it's really good. Like it does, like when you want to do masking, that's where you want to cut something out of the picture. It's so much better. It's really good. If you want to, like, if I wanted to do like where I had 2 or 3 of me in the same shot, that's what the best way to do it. If you use iMovie, there's going to be you can tell no matter how many times I try, there's a color difference between the shots, and you can see it. If you look, I mean, if you're just glancing at it, you don't notice it. But if you see it. But with iMovie, with a Final Cut, you can make it look a lot more cleaner when you're using green screen effects, doing multiple, like the simplest thing like they did in old movies. Like if you we're watching Star Trek, so we just started watching the Kirk Star Trek, and I don't know how many times they had to find a way to have 2 of Kirk.
Right, yeah.
They've already happened. And it's like, so they do that effect where they film the shot, but they're together, they're in the same scene, they don't move the camera. So they'll film it with them here, and then they'll film it with them there. And as long as they don't cross, they can edit it. And as long as the lighting is the same and all that. So you can do that with your phone. But if you use the green screen to get them together, there will be a slight color variation. So
I fight the color. Yeah. So in Adobe Premiere, you can do all that, but there's no easy button.
Yeah.
Right. Nothing, you got to kind of know what you're doing, and I don't. So I've fiddle-farted with it a lot of time. My green screen always, according to Adobe, is about 4 different colors, and then you can never really get. I was like, how is this? I've I've watched so many YouTube tutorials. I'm trying to get it right, and it's like, okay, again with the frustration, right? I get whatever little 15-second funny I wanted to do. It's like, man, ain't worth it. I spent a week trying to figure this out. Man, ain't worth it. Maybe I just need to do it on my phone. So, well,
there's so many there's some apps that can do it better,
right?
But you might have to pay for them.
Well, and I think too with Adobe, everything is so modularized. Like you have After Effects, you have all, and it doesn't take long for that to get ridiculously expensive a year, because it's a subscription service. So that's.
I'm like, how much money am I making doing this?
Yeah, why? None.
Why am I paying more?
Right. For me, it's absolutely none on the YouTube. So I just do it for the funsies. So. Well, since we're talking about YouTube and all that, I started messing with the thumbnails. I don't know if you'd noticed any of the thumbnails. So I put some text on them. I don't know if it's helping or not. My channel views are slowly just climbing.
That's good.
But it's not. Nothing has made. So the best performing video on my channel of all times is a stupid 1 minute short
of
of me
course.
dropping the mail off and
Yeah.
picking it up. It's absolutely horrible. Has no thumbnail. It just simply says dropping off a Bricklink order at the post office.
Yeah.
And
1,000 views.
it's got 1,000 views, which is nothing for a short, but I mean, it's the biggest performing video on my channel. It's even
better than my dancing video.
It's better than your dancing video.
I'm surprised that one did. Sometimes, usually with the shorts, they start off slow, and then a few days after you post them, it'll get a boost.
Right.
And then it might get another boost later. But
well, that's what happened to the mail video. It went for a couple days with like 10 views. And then all of a sudden it had 200 views in one day. And then again, it set for a few days, and then it was at 500, and then it just went to 1,000. And I don't think it's come off at 1,100 and something views in a week. And I don't know that probably it's only going up whenever I go to look at it to see if the comments or views are. Yeah. Oh, look, I got one more view.
Yeah. So that's the way I remember YouTube back in the day when I first started. Oh, I got 47 views. Oh, that's how many times I've looked at it.
Yeah. Well, I did try the whole, what happens if you just let the short run? Because, it loops.
It loops.
Yeah, that helped.
Well, you don't, technically, they go back later, and they have a way of knowing if it's you, and sometimes they'll remove those views anyway.
Well, it's funny that you say that, because that may explain something, because there was one video that had anywhere from 68 to 72 views. And depending on which day you looked at it, it had 68 or 72 views. So I kept losing 4 views over. And the weird part is that the analytics looked like it was still moving up. So I was like, okay, it can't still be going up. It keeps dropping and losing 4, and then it goes back. So I just attribute it to me being a very tiny YouTuber in a very large algorithm, and stuff happens.
Yeah.
So
the thumbnail trick it's very hard. I know it works. Like, I'll give you an example. I mean, first of all, we gotta have good content. That's a given. But like somebody who I thought always had good content, and I think I talked about this last time we were talking about it, but like somebody like Generic Stud.
Mm-hmm.
His content has always been good for what he does. Like, he tries to be funny, and then he's been focused on the Ninjago. But when he started putting his face, like taking up half of the screen or a third of the screen, that's when he really started taking off. The videos were always good. They were never not good.
Right.
In the beginning. I remember when he had like 80 subscribers, I'm like, this kid's going to blow up, because I could just tell how good he was. But
right.
Was when he put that face. So every thumbnail, it's like a third to half of it is his face, and then whatever he's talking about.
Right.
And I see that with a lot of other people. They'll put a face prompt, and that's what YouTube. If you take have you taken any of YouTube's courses or?
No.
Yeah. So it always cracks me up, because people will watch all these people that like have courses. Like, buy my course on how to do YouTube. I'm like, have you even done the YouTube one yet? Because all they're going to tell you is what's in there. There's nothing they're going to tell you that YouTube won't tell you for free.
Right.
And it's all about the thumbnails, faces in the thumbnails, smiling faces, shocked faces, surprised faces. It's something to catch people's attention. But if it's just a random screenshot from the video, it's not likely. But here's the funny thing is, YouTube's algorithm is so good. It's like, I will intentionally like make what I think I might take a screenshot for the thumbnail when I'm filming. And sometimes it's something that I edit out. It's just like, I'm going to smile for the camera, and then I'm going to go into my video.
Right.
Sometimes YouTube will, the 3 choices, it'll be the one that I was going to use anyway.
It just knows.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of scary how the AI is. Yeah, it knows us too well.
Yeah. Well, here's the other thing is, my live stream I did last week, the not Pablo the Bat. I don't even know my own videos. BrickTsar answered. So I did a live stream, but I didn't take a thumbnail before I started it.
Okay.
And the thumbnail that it takes, because I was doing it with my camera, so I had my camera where it was facing where I was going to be. So I was behind the camera, and then I had to walk. I started the video, then I walked around in front of the camera. So I'm still talking. I'm like letting people know I'm there. Well, the thumbnail was just my background. Like,
oh,
yeah, I wasn't in the video. That video did terrible.
Really?
Until I changed the thumbnail with me in the video. It's like, because I think somebody scrolling through it, they don't know it's one of my videos. They might recognize the background, but it was just the plain background, didn't have anything to do with anything, but I just put my face in the video. Then all of a sudden it started getting views.
So okay. So that's where I think okay. So I think there's, with the face deal, first off, it's either going to be recognition. Oh, look, it's BrickTsar. I don't remember seeing that. Okay, well, I better click on that. So it's a new BrickTsar video. Or it's a cute guy or a cute girl making a funny looking face, right? And I think those are that's kids. Look, my viewers, the age keeps dropping. It used to be almost all 50-year-old, the 35 to 45 and 45. It was all of that. And, but now it's like 10% or something is in that 13-year-old category, or whatever it is, 13 to something here. I'm like, why? Hey, well, I'm glad you're watching. I'm not sure why you want to watch an old fart talk about old Lego, but
well, when my train channel was doing really well, it was people in their 30s, but I knew it wasn't people in their 30s. It was their
kids.
Children.
Yeah. Watching. So my wife's YouTube has got to be totally trash because Dakota is always playing with their tablet.
Yeah.
So there's and well, today he was looking at a video of somebody. He'll go from some kind of cartoon to some guy taking a car apart. So it's like, why are you, what? Because he's sitting right there, so we're watching what he's picking, but to make sure he didn't pick anything bad. But it's like it's random. Of course, when you're 4, I guess that's not who's supposed to really be watching YouTube anyway.
No, yeah. Yeah. So it's like, again, I'm not an expert. I mean, I don't apply my own suggestions a lot of times, but I think just some generic out of focused thumbnail, I'm not going to usually do that. I'm going to at least have something that's related to the video in there. That's okay. That's a BrickTsar video. That's not just a poorly filmed part of the video that happened to be the thumbnail.
Right. I usually try to I try to pause at least somewhere to get a, but I will generate the video or the thumbnail when I'm editing the video.
Well, this is the thing. This is a suggestion we could do for the AFoOL podcast is like when we hit record, go ahead. So that way you're already recording. Let's pose.
Okay.
For the thumbnail, just instead, because you're like, how hard is it to get all 3 of us where one of us, our eyes isn't closed, or we're all looking? And you don't need to scroll through the whole video. And that's what Jacob and I do when we film a video together. I'm like, let's smile. Yeah. And nothing, I don't ever do anything outrageous. Like, oh, I just did it. Oh. But it's like,
what was that? 39.54. No, you're right. That's probably a good idea. Because usually where I find,
do it at the beginning. Yeah.
Yeah, well, usually it's right after I tell the joke. There's, because I cut it there, and there's a little bit of awkward pause sometimes. So I usually grab a shot in there where if I catch us all looking up, but Because there's a lot of times that we're not all looking. Because
Mhm.
I'm usually looking at the other computer.
If
monitor.
you're looking at the screen or
Right.
looking, like I'm looking at you, I'm not looking at the camera.
Right. Yeah. I am so bad. I never look at the camera. See, I'm looking
Yeah.
at the camera now, but I have no idea what I'm doing. So
Yeah.
and I'm sure it's mess with. I can see myself in my glasses. So I tried to draw, and well, the Lego lawyers are going to be on me. The old Lego gnome. He's not really the gnome. He's the Lego guy. I tried to create. Well, it just turns out I'm a terrible artist. So I actually tried to make.
Oh, you actually drew that. That's the one that's on last week's.
Yeah.
Video.
I'd try to pull it up, but I created it so large that because I was trying to get the detail in it that I could work with it. So I don't have a vector drawing program like an artist would use, like Kevin Hinkle would use, that you can infinitely expand it or contract it in size. I'm drawing it in a bitmap, and there's only so much you can zoom or expand that. But
well, you tried.
I tried, and it looks. I think Dakota has done some better refrigerator artwork than that. I need to get somebody to do something that's probably not borderline copyright infringement.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and it's like Kevin Hinkle has sights set on him by Lego, so we're going after him. But there's so much stuff that's not really adhering to the copyright and trademark guidelines.
Right.
A lot of it is even stuff that's being sold.
It's
like, is the Tipper Truck Army shirt, is that a violation of copyright?
It can't be. I took the picture.
Okay, so that's and it's not no minifigure in it. There's no 2x4 brick.
And
I think those are the two main things. If you have a 2x4 brick, the Lego logo,
right,
or a minifigure, they can come after you.
Those are the things that those are the biggies that they're easy to identify. They're easy to win a court settlement, or at least scare you into shutting it down, stopping. But I don't see where something like that is. I mean, I get it's their set, but it's so what? It's not they're not copyrighting it as an image or trademarking it. So
yeah, it's a photograph can be copyrighted in artwork. So imagine like if behind you had a painting that was a contemporary artist, like somebody who's still alive,
right?
And it was in the background. You bought it, but if you were technically, that may not fall under fair use. And there have been movies that have gotten in trouble because, let's say they're doing a movie that's based on the 70s, and they go and get all the furniture and the curtains and lamps and stuff that are from the 70s, and they get some artwork. In the artwork, they didn't have approval to use the artwork, and all it is just a background decoration. It has nothing to do with the movie. There have been times when the people who made the artwork have come after them.
I don't know. I've heard this, but the Hollywood sign is the same way.
Yeah,
you can't put it in
even if you take your own picture of it.
Right.
Yeah.
You can't. Yeah, you can't use it in. Well, I mean, I guess.
You can have it for your personal use.
Right. But if you're going to use it in a movie or a commercial or something, that's why all the things that we do here on the BrickTrains are news.
Yeah, we're not monetized.
Oh, I'm not. No, absolutely not.
And we're talking about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you're using it as fair use,
right,
then you got more grounds for disputing it if they try to sue you. Which what are they going to take all of our revenue?
Here you go. Let me write you a check for $0. Can I write them, or can they write if they're going to take my revenue, can I go ahead and give them my deductions? Do you write me a check? Because this has cost me a bunch just to create no money.
You owe me money for using your copyright.
I always worry about, and I don't know. One of these days, maybe I'll take it down. But in the background of the videos that I normally do, there is a sign that came out of a toy store somewhere. But it is just straight up the Lego logo, and I try not to have too much blatant Lego logo, but every once in a while, the thing is in the shot.
Yeah. Well, I think Lego, even though you're not supposed to use the Lego logo, I think Lego has been very lenient. I have not, I could be wrong, but I do not think they've come after anybody for using Lego logo unless they're selling merchandise.
Right.
But it's like, how many people put the Lego logo on their thumbnail? That is actually a violation. I mean, YouTube won't support you on that. If Lego was to say, "Hey, that's our copyright, you can't use that."
Well, and I put it on. I put the little legal notice that they ask you if you read through all their little crap. I put it on all my videos that I am not endorsed. They don't support me. They don't like me. That blah blah blah. You know, the whole. I don't know that it shows up if it's not in the template for the AFoOL podcast. It's probably in the comments or not the comments, but the description. I think it's in that template. But I don't think it actually appears in the video anywhere. I don't think I don't.
Yeah, as long as it's in the description.
Well, and I think that the AFoOL podcast is more. It is literally more news or our opinions or whatever, and it's we don't even do reviews. So
I don't think anybody would mistake us as representing the Lego group.
Not in a positive light.
Well, I do try.
Well, we love the product, right? It's the corporation that gets a little silly sometimes. But that's, when I was listening to Kevin do his story on Julian's channel, on Bricksmith's channel, and he went through his whole story, he would talk about these things, that disconnects between one person and the next person, or department versus department, or passing on knowledge when you get a promotion, but the next guy that comes in and takes your job absolutely has no idea what was going on. That is not a Lego thing at all.
It's a business problem.
Yeah, and I've worked for two major corporations. Both of them were global corporations, and they did the same silly stuff. It's just, you left your job and whatever notes were on your desk is it, and the next guy that came in took all your notes and threw them away. I know better than him, so hope you weren't in the middle of something really important. That's just,
so that's how you have the cycle in businesses. I've seen it at least in two companies I've worked for in the past, where if you work somewhere long enough, somebody comes up with a great idea, they implement it, that phases out one day, and the new management comes in, they come up with a different idea, they implement it, then they go away, and then somebody, hey, we got this great idea. What's the other idea that we'd already done before that they changed? So you just get this constant cycle of going from this idea back to this one. We're like, it's like one of the best things anybody ever told me is like, don't worry too much about your managers. They come and go. You'll have somebody different.
And that is absolutely true statement. We run this, we're in a manufacturing process. So the actual process doesn't change, but every time we get a new manager, they always have it's either safety or quality or yield. Right. And whatever great idea they have, we did 6 months ago or a year ago. And it's,
can you imagine my confusion when I went from being the top employee to being trained by the worst employees? And the only thing that changed was how they measured things. So if you were just like objectively looking like, okay, this guy's actually doing work. Like if somebody was monitoring me and I was unaware of it, and they were monitoring the other people, they would say, okay, that guy's actually working. This guy's over here not doing anything. Right. So that's literally what was happening. So and when it was measured appropriately, I was the top person. But then they started changing how they measured them. So the people that weren't really doing anything, they learned how to game the system, and they would game it. And then I all of a sudden became one of the worst employees. I'm doing exactly the same thing I'm always doing. These people that are having the high numbers, they're not actually doing any work.
Right.
They're cheating the system. So I got put in this like remedial program because and I had to call in, and it would be people who were injured.
Right.
Literally, I remember going behind these people. I'm like, oh, this is the worst person. They're like, do they even know how to do the job? And like, I had to get approval from them to complete my jobs. And I was like, this is so stupid.
Is it still like that, or did they?
Huh?
Is it still like that, or did they change?
Oh no, it changed. It changed. But it's because that's what happens. They changed how they measure things. And once they start measuring a different way, then that problem went away. Then we had another one. So it's like part of you have to play the game, but you got to do it ethically.
Right.
So, because it's like, yeah, there's people that will cheat the numbers because they know that they can do it, but you they can fire you for cheating the numbers too.
Right. Yeah. Well, I don't. So I'm a shift leader, so I'm responsible for the operation for my shift, and there's no hiding it. We use. I mean, we're consuming plastic and making a sheet product, so it's pretty easy to tell. If you use X number of kgs and you only produced X number of kgs, your yield is this. It's kind of hard to hide, and we use SAP. And it's it's terrible too, but is
that where you get the Spanish?
Yeah. You know what? It would be better if it was in Spanish. It would be easier to understand than the broken German that it's in. But, yeah.
And so it's like if you've worked at a job a long time, like Earl's worked at his job a long time, I've worked at mine a long time. You kind of know like what needs to be done, what's involved in things, and like roadblocks that can come up and would make things take longer.
Right.
And it's like I'm glad I'm in a situation with my job that I work now, where I work with other people that I trust and we work together. It's like the way back in the old days, it'd be like, I knew a guy that he wouldn't pick up any work unless they called him. So it's like if they didn't call him, he didn't do anything all day long.
Wow.
But it's like, we're all working together to make sure everything's covered. Nobody's left hanging with something. If you get something that's bad, somebody goes and helps you. And it's like we get the work done more efficiently than if we were micromanaged. Like if we were micromanaged, it would actually ruin our efficiency.
Yeah. Yep, I've seen that plenty of times.
I'm sorry, we didn't mean to talk about corporate stuff. Oh, and go back. I meant to mention this earlier when we were talking about thumbnails. I need to figure out how to do the dead guy thumbnail that everybody seems to like to do. The white chalk outline.
Oh,
white tape outline.
Yeah,
that seems to be another thing that's popular to do. Outline your body in white.
Oh, okay. Huh. I have not noticed that, but
you'll see it in a lot of thumbnails. I don't want to do it. I just.
Well, now that you said it, I'll notice it, and it'll be like, oh, I see it everywhere now.
I think it's a Photoshop.
Photo, yeah. Oh, I think I know what you're talking about now. Do you notice? Have you been watching you talked about the Veritas, man? We probably talked about it last time. The one where he talked about the thumbnails. Have you noticed he has changed it or keeps changing it?
He keeps changing it. I hadn't gone back to it. No.
I'm hoping he'll come out with a new video to say what that little experiment he did.
Yeah.
Because at times now, some of them that he's done to me are less. They don't attract my attention, but I'm also biased because I know what he's doing.
Yeah. Well, there's a science to it, but there's also like just because something works doesn't mean I have to like it. Like I don't have any ill will towards Mr. Beast.
Right.
I don't think he's a bad guy. I don't think he's gaming the system. I don't think he's bad for the platform. I just don't have any interest in his content. I've actually tried watching it. I don't have any interest in it, but I don't want, like, I watched Veritasium before he was worried about all this stuff.
Right.
And when he would do well, but when, as YouTube, this is kind of like going back to what we were talking about, when his videos didn't get worse. It's just YouTube started promoting different things, and you have to adapt. And that's what I guess all this talking about the thumbnail and stuff is, instead of him worrying about his video, he's got to think about thumbnail's title. And if YouTube's going to promote it, are they going to promote Veritasium providing some educational content, or Mr. Beast building a Lego tower that has no Lego in it?
So yeah. So YouTube has been around long enough that we are at least, what, 2 generations in of people. I can remember when YouTube, you said it once too, and I did. When you said it, I thought, yeah, that's exactly what it did. YouTube was a storage platform for videos, right?
Yeah.
And
I think a lot of us that started in the day, we didn't think about other people that we didn't know watching our videos.
Exactly. You sent them to YouTube either from another website or a known spot that you were cultivating, and YouTube was literally just a place because you embedded it. I guess you can still embed your videos into websites. Yeah, I know you can, because I check that little marker, make sure it's checked. I allow embedding. But at any rate, you sent them there. Now YouTube is the start spot, right?
It's a search engine. It's a search engine.
It is, yeah, and it's built, yeah, and obviously it's built into Google. It's built into Bing. I mean, they are searching it not only through Google, but like my daughter didn't exist when YouTube was around, right? And she's got a son that's 3rd generation just in this household. Well, not my family, that is using YouTube, and you can't tell me that it hasn't changed, right? The videos that I put on, the videos that Veritasium put on, when years and years and years ago, now the attention span is more of my daughter and soon to be grandson, more about what's going to get their attention, because they're just lying about click through, right? That's, if you get more impressions, then the advertisers are going to pay you more whether or not you buy their product.
Well, there's people that used to get, like, when YouTube started, you could not post a video longer than 10 minutes. That was the longest you could post. And so I know people that were uploading like movies, and they'd be like 1 of 10, 2 of 10, 3 of 10, or 1 of 16. However many clips they had to do to put the whole movie up. All those videos are gone now, but then you could do videos longer, but you had to be in the partner program or something. But still, people would almost be mad if you made a video that was longer than a few minutes. People, like in the early days, people wanted short videos, and then it got it just like it keeps changing. And then when they start, it's like YouTube is the one that started pushing the kids content. And that's when it changed. And then you would get these videos that would be hours long that would be getting promoted, because the kids are just sitting in front of the thing watching this one video for 3 hours. That's the same stuff over and over again.
Yeah. So now we're back to shorts, right?
Well, long form content so podcasts got real popular a few years ago, doing well on YouTube. And then now they go back to vertical video. And I was just like, I did it. I've done shorts, and I'm like, I can't believe we're going back to, everybody used to get mad if you did a vertical video.
Right. Oh yeah.
Like, you don't know how to turn your camera around?
How to use your phone. What's wrong with you?
And now they're making us do vertical video.
Yeah.
But at least the only good thing about that is that they do kind of separate it. there's a short shelf, and they will, if you don't click on them, they won't show them to you as much.
Yeah, I guess in my regular feed I don't get shorts. I don't get very many shorts. Well, and I've said this before. I have two YouTube. Okay, so I have when they're the same account, but I have my YouTube.
You got two channels on one account.
Yeah, so the BrickTrains is but it's separate, right? So it's always opened up in Chrome, in my Joey account is opened up in Edge, and they can't see each other, so the cookies are different. And I always get Lego ads on my Joey account, but I will get the strangest things on my BrickTrains account. I mean, I never get anything from Lego. Yeah. So for whatever reason, they think, I don't know what they think I am. And I watch Lego videos on that.
I think that maybe I'm getting ads suggested to me, and we can talk about this since we don't get ads on this.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
When I'm watching on mobile, all right, I think I get ads suggested to me that's more related to people that watch the same content as I do instead of me, because all day today when I was scrolling through YouTube, I kept getting this mobile game app, which is it's a mobile game that's got the poor animation and you're just gathering up stuff.
Okay.
And I am never ever going to play that game.
No,
I'm never going to think about it. I'm just waiting till the skip ad thing comes up, and I'm like, why do I keep getting suggested these games? They're not games that I've never played a game like that. I'm never going, and it's like, yeah, there might be games that I would be interested in, but it's not this stuff.
Right.
So I don't think they got me figured out. Now they do have other things figured out, like they think I need to take my shirt off because I'll get that ad from the guy that seems to think everybody wants to see him without his shirt on, and that all the diets are wrong in the world and only his is right. And then I get the ad for shirts, for shirt subscriptions and things like that.
But you say shirts in your videos a lot.
Yeah.
And I can't remember who did the video. Somebody did a video where they were doing a live stream and they were trying to prove that Google was listening to him, or that Google was listening to him. And he kept he would hold up a sign about, I can't remember. It was blue ball is what he kept. That was the two words that he pulled up. And he ended up, and they were just random words that he had, and he never said them at all. And then he went and said them one time. And the whole time he was going and searching on Google or whatever for different things and getting the ads and stuff. Eventually, after he finally said it, he said, the two words that I got were blue ball. He started getting ads for dog food and toys and dog balls. And and it was really kind of strange because eventually it just, I don't know, it was weird. But the whole thing was, and I'm not trying to say that but is right or wrong or whatever, it worked, or if it was just seemed funny or he had it all set up. But Google does translate our video.
Yeah.
They do the transcribe. They know. So when you say shirt, I'm sure there's a metric somewhere that's just adding up. Oh, he said shirt again. Oh, he said shirt again. So I always get the one, and I don't understand it. It's the one about the guys, the natural soap.
Oh yeah. I get that one too. I think that's our age demographic.
Okay, man. I just thought I stunk. Well, see, that's it too, right? There's going to be something.
I'm not going to buy that product either. So
no. But I think that's, I think there's going to be ads that are based on our demographic because we're, a certain age, a certain race, a certain gender. And there's also going to be targeted ads based on our viewing history. And of course, like if I look at my analytics, it says, people who view my videos also view these other channels. And I thought it was interesting that your channel's number one for sure, but then it's like Brixy, and then M&R,
Yeah.
and then it goes through, you know.
Yeah.
So it's
I think with M&R, it's because there's been a lot of times we've had crossover with him. So I have had crossover with M&R.
Right.
So that's like, there's our audience. There's people that watch him that also watch my channel and vice versa.
Right.
But, I don't understand the Brixie thing because he gets suggested to my father-in-law and he's never watched one of his videos. You know, and I'm like, this is where a channel can blow up because YouTube is just recommending it to everybody.
Right.
And so, because I guess more people will click on that than they would like a BrickTsar video. Like more people are going to click on a Brick or will continue watching it because maybe his videos are more engaging or more interesting to the community in general. But I don't understand it. Why this is the way it was like 10 years ago. It's like there was the same channels that were getting, like there were a lot of people making videos, but it would be the same ones. And usually it's the better ones. I mean, to be honest, but yeah, I don't understand if you never click on it, but they keep suggesting it to you. That's the thing. My father-in-law has never clicked on one of his videos. And it's not like my video, my video, my video. It's my video, Brixie, 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 Brixie. And I'm like, what's it? He is only watching my videos as far as like Lego content. And yet he gets recommended these other ones.
So my guess there is they know that he watches you, so they're not going to recommend it because he's probably subscribed, getting notifications. He's probably not subscribed.
He doesn't even have an account.
Oh, well.
See, this is on his TV. But yeah. He's watching on a TV app, so he doesn't even sign into YouTube.
Huh. See, I still think I think it has something to do with if they know you're going to go to that channel, if you're going to watch all their videos, you're engaged in that, they're going to try and relate other channels that are similar to what you're interested in.
That people watch longer.
Well, yes.
So again, I'm not taking a shot at Brixie.
No.
Obviously, he's doing something right, but I don't watch him, and I don't really know much about him.
Right.
But all I know is I see him suggested all the time.
Right. Yeah. Well, his channel's number 2. You know, apparently the viewers of this podcast anyway all know him and watch him because they also watch that channel according to my analytics. So I don't know. It's interesting. It's interesting. I think it's a computer algorithm. It's a black box. Who knows what's really going on?
Yeah.
Well, what else we want to talk about Lego wise? Anything?
What's okay? Anything new?
Well, as of the writing of this, or the writing. Oh wow!
Well, let me get the script out here. Here's the script.
You got a script? I didn't get that memo. That's something Adam Savage does. He calls his viewers readers.
Oh.
At any rate, I guess tomorrow. What is today's date?
We're filming this on the 13th. Is it going to go up this Friday?
Yeah, this will go. Yeah, this is the latest we've ever done one. So, there is something I guess Lego is going to release tomorrow only on social media. BrickTsar's already done a little article about it, and then a couple of the. Is
it a set?
I don't know. They're just teasing something. There was a picture. If you go to BrickTsar, you probably see a picture of it, and then you'll read the article and you'll see what they think it is. But I thought it was kind of interesting.
What they were teasing earlier today, I'm not interested. So
yeah, well, when I found out that's what they think it is, but I just thought, why are they doing? Here they are again, social media experimenting, and they're the worst at it. Mm-hmm. At figuring out social media.
Like, we're going to do a reveal, and it's like a set that everybody's already seen.
Well, yeah. I don't think, let's do a whole online video program and release sets that everybody's seen. That was pretty fantastic.
I would rather see Lego do like Wendy's with their social media or a company like that, where they're like self-aware and they get in all the memes and
yeah. They would never poke fun at themselves. It would never happen. And I think do you think they are still owned by the family? I mean, when we think about corporate life, they're ran like a corporation, but there's not shareholders per se as much as there's family members.
So, you know, I'm only speculating, but what was the guy who founded Lego? How do you say his name? Is it Ollie?
Yeah. Ole
Christensen.
Yeah.
All right. You think he was invested in the success of the company when he started? Was he invested in making the company successful?
I think so, because he was trying to feed his family, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, and despite the many fires that he had,
right,
many setbacks that he had, he persevered,
right,
so he could feed his family. But he still wanted. He was conscientious and wanted to have a good product.
Sure.
And then his Godfrey, his son, comes along, and they get this idea of, like, with the plastics. They take an idea that Kitty Craft did, which everybody thinks that Lego just stole Kitty Craft. I mean, they bought the machine from the manufacturer of the machine.
Right.
and then they improved it.
Right.
They made the interlocking bricks.
Right.
And he was invested in the success of the company. And I think that Kel was invested. I don't know, but it's like as you go on from generation to generation it's like it's inherited. It's like you didn't have to earn it.
Nope.
You're making billions. What's your motivation to keep it like fresh? And it's like it's become a big company. You need help running the company, so they get these college graduates that probably don't care, and this is where you get all these stupid ideas.
Yeah. So when you're third generation in a company that's sole ownership like that, you're exactly you've inherited it. You didn't put in the blood, sweat, and tears. You're, even though you may be the most invested person in it, you did not come from the same place that the person who started it did. And I'd say that's probably where the family is, very much so.
It's the fourth generation.
Yeah. Fourth generation. And their biggest thing is making sure they're, making a 20% profit every year.
Yeah. And is like, you think a few years ago when they made billions with a B, but it was less billions than the prior year. So it was like a huge disaster. Mm-hmm. They laid off 1,400 people, Kevin Hinkle being one of them.
Right.
And it's like, well, you still made money.
Yeah. They got below their target zone. They got out of their, that is corporate life. And that's because the family,
that's because the family is. Businesses always eventually fail. It's because they want to do, they want to do something that's mathematically impossible.
Yeah.
You can never outgrow the population of Earth. And they want their growth projections. Oh, if we can just get 16 billion people buying Lego products, there's only 8 billion.
Well, a good example of, take a corporation like GE, General Electric, started out making, they're way back, electricity, making motor, blah, 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 all that stuff. But they made stuff, right? They made light bulbs. They made, well, I guess they still make trains and some jet airplane engines, but they got out of almost everything that they made. And they literally went into business to just make money. Mm-hmm. They don't physically make anything anymore other than, I think, how sustainable is it? Oh, it's not. Check the stock prices.
Yeah.
It's, when you are focused, all your focus is just make money. Yeah. We're a company that make money. Then, and I think that's kind of where Lego is all they want to do is make money, or they have to make a certain amount of money. And that brings on all these silly ideas, like we're going to have a social media release only of something tomorrow, which by the time everybody watches this, they'll already know.
Tell us how big a fail it was.
Yeah.
I'm predicting. Wait, it looks like I'm predicting it after. You're predicting it. We filmed this after. Yeah, it was a fail. I predict.
Well, if it's what I think it is, I didn't even realize that had. I didn't even know that show was even on anymore. I guess it is, but I don't watch it. But we'll see. We'll see. I might be wrong.
That's the other thing that happens when you relinquish control.
Yeah.
And it's like when Lego Godfrey, was it Godfrey? When did he die? I'm trying to think. One of them, I have to go back and read the minifigure book again, but didn't want the minifigure to change. They wanted it to just be the standard minifigure grin. And they fought him for 11 years. The designers fought for 11 years to get that to change.
Wow, I did not know that.
Yeah, because the family did not want that. They just wanted, they didn't want any conflict in the Lego world, which I can understand that. But, so slowly their principles in certain things, that's why they come across as hypocrites, because they'll say they don't want this and this, and then they allow this. And it's like, you don't want tanks, but you have this Nazi airplane from Indiana Jones.
Right. Yeah. Well, again, there was money to be had on those sets, so we're gonna make the money. So, well, we've obviously skipped the bracket.
Yeah,
so people's not here. We're not.
We want to be fair. Have 3.
No. Now, hell, we could end up having a tie. That wouldn't work at all.
No.
So
we want Earl to be here because he's been a big part of the brackets all the way till now. We're getting close to the end of it. Do we have comments that we need to read?
We have some. Let's see. You want me? Let me try to pull them up.
I forgot to pull them up.
Okay. So I'm not as good at this as, let me bring that back up so I can see us. I think I know. Okay, so I'll just start. We'll just start doing them here. Xavier G. Hey, gentlemen, just started rewatching this podcast. So welcome back. I like the vibe you guys bring. 2 things. When Jabbo talks about selling all his pirate sets, I hit my head so hard and yelled, no! Considering hoarding or collecting is what others say. If you just got 1 built set and 1 sealed, that's collecting. If you got 20, read more. 20 in a box, that's hoarding. Just sell them and fund the collecting bit, right? So yeah, I would say if you have 20 in a box, that's hoarding.
Yeah, I got a lot, and I think the casualties in my collection outnumber the collection itself. I'm pretty sure all time I've sold more than what I have.
Mayo Hosco says deja vu. Jabbo does the face with the 12-volt trains in 1980 every time. We all know that's coming because 1980 has come so far in the bracket. I'm tipping 1980 to win the bracket.
Oh no!
It's becoming the second favorite year behind 1992. So he's got 1992 or 1980. He thinks we've rigged it.
Rigged it.
Steve Bricker, great idea for Jabbo doing a set a day. Only problem is he would have to focus. No, for real, no wandering. I guess you'd have to pay attention.
Actually do something?
Yeah. Dude, Jude, good one, guys. It's from the mid-'80s, not a forklift, Joey, but it was yellow. Keep up the good work. Didn't we peg what that was once already? Wasn't it the firehouse?
He said he's asking for something different.
Oh, he's got a new one now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well, I'm reading. I'm just in my comments, so I'm just going through all the ones that I haven't hearted. So, Kale Jones, hearing you guys complain about sellers who don't know the different Lego parts is kind of fun.
So I got a set today. I'm building. It's on the dining room table. I was building it before we came in here. It's I bought 2 copies of it. Neither one was complete. But the one listed said this is what's missing. The other one, it was just like it was supposed to be complete. Well, the tires is a car. The tires are the wrong tires.
Mm.
And then some of the pieces that were the right piece were broken. And then there was another part that was the wrong part. So it's like, but because I bought 2 of them, I'm able to get the one that was actually listed incomplete had the right parts of the ones that the other guy was missing. And it's like with the tires, it was kind of a common mistake. They just kind of look like the tires, but then when you put the wheel on the inside, it doesn't hold. There's so many. It's like, what are the common mistakes, and what are the mistakes that nobody cares? Like, there's 4 different versions of the clip.
Right.
Like, who cares?
Well, I sit there and have to figure it out every time I part out sets. It's like, okay, is this the clip, this one or that one? Like,
on the official inventory for the tipper truck, the headlight brick, which we started with in this video, it's listed as undetermined type. So in order to get the official headlight brick for the tipper truck, I have to not know which one it is.
Yeah.
We should not know what we're doing more often.
There you go. John, and I can't pronounce his last name, Vocatu.
Vocatura.
Okay. He says, hey, job O. So that's directed at you. Xavier G says, not sure what I'm doing. Downloading? There goes my precious time, LOL. Not sure what we were talking about. That was episode 29. So
that was last episode.
That was last episode. Let's see. Simon Lehigh. Love the new segment. Mardi Gras man made me. Mardi Gras man made me laugh. Made me laugh. Okay, I had to read emojis now. Sorry. Earl makes us all laugh. He kind of keeps us on track here sometimes.
Yeah.
No, all the time. Blockhead UK, Kaz, poor Jabbo, stop ganging up on him, boys.
That's the one where y'all. I was always the odd man out.
Yes, this is episode 28. Well, we probably did these already then. I bet. Let's see. Yeah, because we did them last week, so we reread these. I'll finish reading this one. Santa Fe Super Chief, my white whale. I'm also with you regarding the number of folks on a live stream is max 4. More than that, and I find it very difficult to watch and even harder to participate in. So, yeah, and then the next one is a comment I recognized from Jabbo, and that was 3 weeks ago. Kaz's she just posted that comment recently, so that should be the comments. I agree. Live streams, I don't have a thing against live streams. They get busy, and if you're in the chat, you're in the chat, and then the live stream kind of becomes secondary. But if you're in the live stream, then you lose the chat. I do. I have a very bad attention span, like cat, squirrel, dog.
Yeah. So when I'm always like solo when I do a live stream,
right?
And I can do a live stream with nobody watching. But because I like to talk. I'm sorry, but it's like I have to acknowledge, like when I do a live stream, I gotta I gotta remind people I'm not looking at the chat. So I'll say that I'm not looking at the chat right now. Right. And then sometimes I go back and Lego Freaks had to delete like 2 people or something for their comments.
You cannot beat him.
Yeah,
unless you're shy and you do it by accident. But yeah, there's been a couple times that he's hit that, and I was like, okay, he beat me. Yeah. That's all right. I mean, he's like on it. He is your best moderator ever.
Yeah, because I don't like sometimes I want to talk about, like, somebody will ask a question and I go in depth about it, and I don't want to be sitting there reading the chat while I'm answering it, but I also don't want to ignore the chat. So it's so yeah, 4 people, 8 people, 10 people. It's like the chat can just fall aside, and the people that it ends up being. And I'm not taking shots at people that do the live streams with a lot of people in them, but it ends up just being y'all's conversation.
It does. It really does. And
even though you might try to put the comment on the screen,
right? And I think that's fine. Like, I don't know that Hoosier. And again, I'm not taking a shot at Hoosier's stuff. I watch Hoosier stuff a lot. I just, I may not participate in the chat or whatever. I most of the time don't. But I just don't see a lot of people going back and rewatching that. Or if you weren't there to participate, I don't know that it's worth watching again.
I think in fairness, it's like that. It wasn't intended to be rewatched.
I don't think so.
Like we're just hanging out, I'm hanging out with my friends, and that's what and this is how we talk. This is like a phone call that you can happen to watch if you want to.
I think exactly right, and I think that's a lot of live streams are like that, and I think that's absolutely fine, and that's great. And this is the only way that a lot of times these people are communicating. This is how they communicate, and that's fine.
Yeah, and there's no wrong way to do it. I mean, there is a wrong way. You can just be rude to everybody.
Well,
but
there's some things that are better than others.
Yeah, there's different, and it's if you want people to watch it after you're over. So like you could always make your live streams private, and I see a lot of people that will actually do that. It's like there's no point in them keeping the live stream public when they're done. But if you want people to watch it, then you should think about how it looks on the video when it's like what would be a video on demand or the replay. Right. Yeah. And so this is not anybody in the Lego community. So I'm not taking a shot at anybody in the Lego community. I hate when it's somebody that I like watching their videos, and they did a live stream and I missed it. And I thought, oh, that's a good topic. The introduction of their video is like 10 minutes, starting soon. And you got to scroll through it till you find where they actually start. And I'm like, why didn't you edit this out? And why didn't you just start? Like, why do you got to tell me you're about to start? It's like on these premieres, I wish I could get rid of that 2-minute countdown, which I could kind of understand why they do it. They want people to have time to get in there because not everybody's going to be there right at the second that a premiere starts. But like if you tell somebody you're going to be at 2:00 for a live stream, don't be 10 minutes of just about to start.
Well, the other thing about live streams that get me, like yours, because you're monetized, there's an ad. So you go live, and then there's an ad.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, it's all right. But
I hope, skip them. You can skip them.
Not when you're live.
Oh.
So you get like a 5-second or 2 5-second videos or ads in a row. Usually it's just like one that you can skip after 5 seconds, but you jump in. That's kind of annoying. But that's not a you thing. That's a YouTube thing.
Yeah. So
I
could not, I don't have to.
Well, you want to monetize it, but I just think it's odd that they're going to do a premiere. It's a live event or whatever, and then they just throw an ad in there. It's like, wait a minute, why don't you just do? Why wait? they're talking. I know he's talking, and you usually are.
Oh, and the one thing you have to check is that, and I don't always do this, and sometimes people will point it out to me. I'll go back, and YouTube has put like 30 ads on an hour video.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, why? And I'm like, I'll go back and I'm like, this makes no sense. Why did they put one? Because, it automatically does it. And I'm like, why did it? I'm like, so I have to go through and remove them because it's like, there's nothing more annoying than 2 minutes and then there's another ad.
Yeah.
I probably got videos on my channel right now that are like that as I say that, but.
Well, I don't have that problem. Although they are running ads on my videos.
Well, see, that's the thing. That's why you're gonna get me into another rant. So
Sorry.
YouTube took that AdSense away from the small creators that didn't have 1,000 subscribers, which, you're not taking much away, but then for them to turn around, take that away, and then them monetize you, that's not right to me. Because you thought, oh, it's only a few pennies. They're taking it from 23 million people.
Right.
It's not a handful of people. It's the vast majority of. So yeah, you may only have, some of these people may only have a handful of videos, and they may only get like 10 views a month, but it all adds up.
Right. Well, and then it get me going too, because the COPA thing still makes me mad. Because they're collecting the information, not me. I don't know. I have an aggregated view of the information, right? And that's what the law is about. What we're fighting I don't fight it anymore. I'll just wait for Google to tell me something different, or I'm doing something wrong. But that was all a lawsuit that was brought on by the New York Attorney General, because the law would shut Google down completely. Anybody under 13 cannot be tracked on the internet, couldn't be tracked on the internet since the early 90s is when that law went into effect. And Google could not, you cannot do cookies. You can't do it unless you know that these people are over 13. And there's no way to know that, because I can hand my phone to Dakota. My daughter does it. My wife does it. There's no way to know that a person is over 13 or under 13. And this whole thing that happened with YouTube, I still say, is just a test market for Google to try to figure out how to scare the content providers into.
Well, they created they created this, and they were the ones doing the tracking. We had no control over that. They stumbled. I don't think when they began YouTube and when Google took over monetization on YouTube and bought it, I don't think they knew how it would go. Like that, it would also, people are watching all these Spider-Man Elsa videos.
Right.
Let's get more people to do that, and we'll make billions of dollars. So then, people really like the kids' content. Let's train all of our creators to make kids' content. They try to get me to do that, make kids' content. You need to be. They were telling me how I needed to be in my videos. I mean, right. I was on. I wish I could have recorded that call, and I was like, no, I don't want to be like that. And so they were pushing it because they knew that kids were watching their content. So they caused the problem. I had no control over it.
Right.
And it's like, and then they punished the creators. Actually, who the ones that end up getting hurt are the small creators, not the Ryan's Toys reviews and other crap channels like that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I am taking a shot at that. Sorry.
Toys, Ryan's Toys. Yeah. Well, they probably need to be. Yeah. Okay.
They're exploiting their children, and there's a lot of channels like that that exploit their children for money.
Yeah. Well, and that's why Dakota is in very few, and usually it's only when he wants to. There's one or two videos that he's in, and you could tell that he just quickly loses interest.
Well, in fairness, it's like, that's normal. It's like the kids, I want to do a video. Let's do a video. And they start the video and like,
yeah. It's like, he sees himself, and all of a sudden it's like, I'm supposed to act a certain way. But he will play YouTuber. You ask him, what are you doing? I'm being a YouTuber. Yeah. He'll go around the house and have a camera, whatever toy. And it's like, what are you doing? But
and my YouTube started because of my son. He wanted to do the videos.
Right.
And that's how I started getting more regular with it. And he was filming, like I said, I think I mentioned it before, he was filming stuff on my camera. Of course, it was all unwatchable because of out of focus and stuff, but he was trying to film stuff back when he was like 6.
Right. Yeah. Well,
I guess that's it, huh?
We've been doing this for an hour and a half. We're just going to do a little quick one without her.
Yeah. Oops. Better go.
Yeah, I'm not sure if we talked a whole lot about Lego, but
yeah. So if Earl has the power, we will be back, and we got to finish up this bracket to find out which year is the best year.
Yeah.
Is it rigged? Is our bracket rigged? We will find out. I don't know what the dad joke was for today, though.
I didn't
I
do
didn't get
one.
one. Those only work when Earl's here. He's
right.
the comic relief of the AFoOL podcast. So be sure to support Earl in his time of need.
Yeah.
Support Joey BrickTrains. Let's get this guy up to 1,000 subscribers so you too can be annoyed by an ad before an AFoOL podcast. And we'll be back in a couple of weeks with another one.
See you guys.
Bye.